the live interactive talk show from my living room straight to yours. Now today we are discussing a YouTube prankster called Itz Arya. Now I have never heard of Itz Arya before, but Arya is a vlogger and prankster from the UK who has 666,000 odd subscribers, and he does terrible pranks such as if I win you flash, eating people's food, pantsing people without their consent. I don't even know why this is still on YouTube. Chainsaw Massacre Halloween prank, and stealing people's hats. Oh, as well as smacking people's drinks. So this guy's an upstanding citizen of YouTube, as you can clearly see. No, that was sarcasm on my behalf. This guy is part of the trend on YouTube wherein you commit pranks against unsuspecting people, and usually really young kids who are around the age of 12 years old appreciate your videos because you're doing things that mom and dad wouldn't allow you to do because, quite frankly, they're antisocial. And as we know, children's brains aren't fully developed, so they are more apt to do things that are harmful and dangerous to themselves and other people, not realizing the long-term consequences. So I came across his video throwing water in people's faces this morning, and it instantly enraged me because my first reaction was, why has this not been removed from YouTube? Why have they not given him a strike for harassment and bullying and harmful and dangerous acts? In case you don't know and you don't live in the UK, there's been a rise in what is known as acid attacks the last, I would say, about 5 years, wherein people will be just walking in public and some mugger will throw a cup of sulfuric acid in their face, thereby permanently scarring them, only to either steal their stuff or, just because they are sadistic, mentally ill people, get a rise out of permanently disfiguring someone else. There were 431 such acid attacks in London last year. So as you can imagine, if a prankster wanders around London and throws a glass of water in your face, your first thought is not going to be that it's water. It's going to be that it's something much, much, much more sinister. So I am just going to bring my lamp over because it's clearly not light enough in here. Just 1 second, people. But there's good news to this story so far. Hold on. Did I say it was too bright in here? I had it's too dark. Oh. Why is this not working? Come on, work. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw the video because this morning it hadn't yet been deleted, but it has been deleted now. It was taken down for a violation of YouTube's policies on harassment and bullying. And I think that's a good thing, because in the past, even as recent as I would say a year ago, his video would have stayed up and nothing would have happened to him. But thankfully, his video got flagged, and he will have a strike, and hopefully YouTube takes a look at the rest of his videos and realizes, like, hey, it's not cool that people are allowed to build channels off of doing non-consensual harassing acts to other people. Do you guys agree with me, those who are watching? So hello to everyone who's watching. I see that Steven's watching and Odin's watching. I'm actually surprised not more people have looked this video up yet, but maybe it's mainly news in the UK and it's not really news in North America. It might be if, say, Philip DeFranco picks up on the story, which I imagine he would do tonight. He definitely didn't do it over the weekend because he's not live over the weekend, or he doesn't work over the weekend. So the Slum Chemist said, this is my first time ever on this channel. Well, welcome. So Slum, are you aware of Arya Mosallah's pranks? Did you find this channel because you were looking up his pranks? One more second, there's another technical difficulty. My phone appears to be dying. I will be right back in 1 second. I mean, okay, so while you guys compose your thoughts, I'm just going to go into mine on, what should be allowed on YouTube in terms of when you build a channel. I said this before in other opinion videos, but I think that all your work on YouTube should be the result of consensual acts that are legal. And if you are doing things that are illegal, it shouldn't be allowed on YouTube. And if it is allowed, which it shouldn't be allowed, it should be age restricted. I think it's unethical to build your channel based on most pranks. There's some pranks that are less harmful, like say you go into store windows and pretend to be a mannequin. I don't think anybody really gets hurt from that, right? Other than laughing when they realize you're real. But if it's something that is terrorizing people, making them trip, fall over, maybe giving an older person a heart attack, it's not right. And I know kids love to watch it because they are socially transgressive acts, but they should not be condoned by the platform, and they should be deleted off the platform, and the creators of such videos given penalties. You should have to build a name for yourself on YouTube through positive acts, not constant negativity and manipulation. So there's only Stephen, Odin, and Slum Channel here, or Slum Chemist. Slum, did you ever write back to me telling me how you found my channel? I would love to have some of Arya's fans show up and discuss it with them, because I know they're going to be younger, and I know they're just going to argue the line, oh, it's just a prank. It's okay to goof off in public and film it because it's just a prank and nobody actually got hurt. I mean, who's died from having a glass of water thrown in their face? But that's not the point. It's the psychological impact of having a glass of water thrown in your face and then worrying that it might be acid. I mean, none of us would ever want to fall victim to an acid attack. Hi, Mole Man. Hi, Odin. So Odin says, I think it doesn't cause panic and it isn't sexual, then it should be set a fine for pranks. But like you said, you can't tell between water and acid, which has been running rampant. Exactly. And I also even think that just the consensual pranks, like the kissing pranks, like, oh, if you get this little wrong, you have to make out with me. The majority of which, by the way, are faked. A lot of those pranksters that end up kissing hot girls, they hire the hot girls to star in their videos. It's still bad, though, because it's presented as if it's fact when really it's fiction, and there should be some sort of disclaimer that the pranks are fictionalized. So the Slum Channel says, no, I found this channel because I watched some other YouTuber doing a review on your channel, but I did hear about that guy's pranks on Twitter. Oh, who reviewed my channel? There's somebody who reviewed my channel. Yeah, see, Just for Laughs built an entire empire off of pranks, and they were televised. And they would do stuff like, I don't know, a nun running around in the park, and then she bends over and her robe falls off. I don't think anybody really gets hurt if a nun's robe falls off. It's funny, right? That said, you still are exploiting the people walking by in the park for your own financial gain if you are the producer of Just for Laughs, or you are the owner of the show, or you are the network that's running ads against such content. I know that Just for Laughs obtains release forms from the people that they prank after they prank them. So there is some sort of consent that occurs, but it's too bad that the consent can never occur before the prank and instead usually occurs afterwards. But because they're televised Just for Laughs, they have to conform to certain rules and regulations regarding harmful and dangerous content that haven't existed really until recently on YouTube. But now certainly they exist, and certainly they're being enforced, because like I said before, ItzArya's video, throwing water on people's faces, by the way, he doesn't even use correct grammar, it would be throwing water in people's faces, not on people's faces, got removed. A YouTuber named Will Mac Show. Is it new? What did he say? So you need to do what, Mo Man? I guess I don't have much more to say about this. You know, like when I previously had gone live discussing Casey Neistat's decision to leave Beam, I had a lot of thoughts on the matter because I'm a creative entrepreneur, and I understand that you usually can't successfully lead businesses out of your area of interest if you're a creative entrepreneur and expect them to succeed. Same thing applies to PewDiePie's almost deleted video on Bob's and Vagine. Instead, it was just force privated. I had a lot of thoughts, but this, it's just like, it's a guy who's barely articulate. The guy can barely intelligibly speak English, who has made a career off of doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, and it's his way of jumping the fence, or his easy way of making a name for himself and gaining subscribers and traffic, because he's just doing things that a normal person wouldn't do and that children enjoy watching. And it's not right, because it's not it's not healthy behavior, and it's not behavior that any child should emulate. The Slum Channel Chemist says, he says he use your body for views, but likes your channel because you're a breath of fresh air. Well, I don't think I just use my body for views. I regret to inform him that I use all of myself for views. I use both my brain and my body. And what's it to him is what I have to say. I'm not exploiting anybody but myself. Hey, this kind of ties into what we're discussing today. I am not harming or hurting anyone in, say, wearing a bikini made out of Jell-O. I am not harming or hurting anyone in throwing a scarf over my head. I'm not harming anyone by painting with my breasts. But if I were to force someone else to paint with their breasts, yes, I certainly would be harming someone. So I put myself in a moral position superior to that of these pranksters that are doing things that terrorize and dehumanize people and harm people. If you review your channel, says Moleman, if you're okay. If you'd like to, if you want to, I can't stop you from reviewing my channel. Freedom of speech. I might not like what you say, but I can't stop you from reviewing it. Hold on, I'm just gonna get some tea because I feel like I'm fading. Have I made sense, guys? I feel like I'm just not adding much to this discussion. I guess I had high hopes that I would be filled with murderous rage in making this broadcast. And my tea is not even in this room. Great. But, I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say? Arya Mosallah seems like an intellectually limited young man who can barely speak English properly. Not because English is not his first language, but he just obviously is not very educated. He found his niche, which is pranks, but it involves him exploiting people, and it's not right. And I hope YouTube issues some penalties. That's all I can say. You know? YouTube's cleaning up the platform. People like him aren't going to last very much longer. They're not going to get any ad revenue. They might get popular, but then how do you monetize that popularity if you're not getting ads and say you have enough strikes that you can't get super chat tips? It looks, you know, actually the one thing that is shitty about his video throwing water in people's faces is that it was sponsored by some sort of site that I won't name because I don't want to give them any free press, which helps you write essays. So basically it helps you to cheat, shows you the moral integrity of that company. That's all that's left. If you're building your popularity based on things that you're not going to be remunerated for via ads or via say tips, you're left with sponsorships, and most mainstream companies will not want to sponsor you, or I guess you could sell merch. But yeah, I don't, you know, none of those things are necessarily easy. He hasn't lost any subscribers, Arya Mosallah. He's gained. Is that a surprise? No, because children are, to a certain degree, more sociopathic than adults, again, because they don't understand how to empathize with other people. They don't understand hurt and pain because their brains aren't fully developed. And it's sad. That's why we need to really be careful the types of content that we show children. So the Slum Chemist says, I agree with you. I think you're doing what you want with your channel and what you find fun, and that's what YouTube should be. Well, thank you. Thank you, Slum Chemist. I hope you subscribe to my main channel. This is my channel where I go live and I discuss various topics in a show called Davison After Dark. So I should write that name down, Will Mac Show. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. So, Will Mac Show. How many subscribers does Will Mac Show have? Okay, guys, you know, I'm debating whether or not I should just end this particular broadcast and go live again, but I'm not sure because I just feel like I have nothing else to say about Arya Mosallah. I truly thought I'd be able to rant about this for an hour, but I don't have it in me. I feel like it's a young jerk being a jerk for his own personal financial and fame gain, and he's soon going to be shut down by YouTube, and it's unfortunate that kids like that content, and that type of content shouldn't be allowed on the platform. That's it. It's that simple. Hi, Raspergu. He's a little over 3,000. Oh, okay, so he's a smaller channel. Moman, you prefer my blessing. Well, I mean, again, like I said, do what you gotta do. I'm not going to give someone a blessing to review me. I mean, like I said, I've reviewed plenty of, I mean, I'm reviewing a channel right now, aren't I? I'm criticizing ItzArya because I find him morally objectionable. He certainly is not my new YouTube boyfriend, Raspergu. ItzArya can barely speak English properly. He's exploiting people for his own personal financial gain. He's unethical and immoral in his creations, so definitely not. I actually think what he did was worse than anything that Logan Paul's done. Do I find it hard to be monetized on my main channel? No. Not necessarily. I mean, some videos haven't been approved, but actually no, because I've been abiding by guidelines ever since the demonetization crisis hit and been very careful with what I've been uploading. I do need to make some more videos to the effect of YouTube is sometimes being too harsh on women because, okay, you can have a fat girl in a bikini and that's perfectly okay to be monetized. But you put an attractive woman in a bikini and all of a sudden it's sexual content? No, I'm sorry, that's not the way it works. Sexual content should be determined by action, like whether or not you're touching yourself or, you know, the way that you pose or the things, context, the things that you say, not whether or not you're sexy. And I think there's a really cool video that a YouTube couple made that is called My Girlfriend is Too Sexy for YouTube. And it's a girl with a fucking, she's a banging body. I don't know if her chest is natural, but like beautiful chest, beautiful butt, zero cellulite, young. I wish I looked like that all the time. I only look like that when I'm in shape. And I don't think I'm quite as naturally busty as this young woman. But because she is sexy, she's not getting videos monetized that should be monetized and that are being monetized for say, larger women or less attractive women. And it's just too bad. It's like turn on the reviewer and you get demonetized even if your video is exactly the same thing as say someone else who's less attractive. And it's I know it's a very touchy subject to cover because then people are like, well, you're not that attractive, you're ugly, who do you think you are to say that? But it's there's too much evidence to show that attractive women are getting you know, unfortunately over penalized and in a way that's unfair because not everyone's being judged the same way. The rules are not the same for everyone. So some chemist says, I agree, YouTube is very heavy-handed when it comes to certain things. Well, I mean, I'm glad they're heavy-handed in some respects, but I'm saddened that they're heavy-handed in other respects. They're not getting it right because they're not getting human beings to evaluate entire channels properly. They're also hiring people who are barely paid above minimum wage who are working in call centers to make all these judgment calls on creators that may have been on the platform for years and may have, you know, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So really YouTube should be grading content with a team of professional English-speaking employees who work at their head office who can engage in dialogues with creators, right? Because every creator is unique, and so no two creators are going to violate guidelines quite in the same way or violate the new guidelines in the same way, because you forget YouTube used to be a lot more permissible and now the guidelines are a lot more restrictive, but they haven't really given creators warnings aside from demonetizing us. And then now since the whole Logan Paul crisis, now they're hitting everyone with an increased number of strikes, which isn't right because again, you don't know necessarily what you've done wrong and you're frequently incorrectly graded by a call center employee, and there's no discussion if you're not a creator above 1 million subscribers. If you're above 1 million subscribers, the new system is that YouTube will force private your video and initiate a conversation with you and tell you what either needs to change in your video or where your video has to stay down. So if it's something that can be changed like the thumbnail, then they'll allow you to make it public again, once you change the thumbnail, if it's something you need to edit, then the video will remain force privated, and you'll have to delete it and then re-upload it with the edited changes. So, I mean, YouTube needs to be heavy-handed in terms of guides like ItzArya, because Arya Mosallah is uploading harmful pranks. But should YouTube be taking the same stance against a woman in a bikini? No. Should YouTube, though, take that kind of stance against... I saw a new channel wherein it's just videos of women bent over, not wearing bras, doing stuff like cleaning, dusting, and other domestic duties. And it's like a voyeuristic channel where you basically, it's instead of upskirting, it's downshirting, I think is what you call it. So it's like just staring at these women, the various women's cleavage. I don't know if the women on this channel consented to be part of these videos. Like, I have a tendency to think that maybe they're stolen videos lifted from porn stars' channels or porn stars' content on other websites like, you know, Pornhub or whatever. But it's like the channel's new. It has like 15,000 subscribers and no age restrictions. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, it's always the spammers that ruin it for everybody else. So again, back to the too sexy for YouTube. That means that the girl in a bikini who's sexy is going to face harsh penalties because of the porn, you know, the people who are porn providers who are uploading videos of women braless, wherein the camera angles directly down their shirt. And that sucks. But this is also why YouTube is restricting membership into his partner program, so that you can't just start a channel wherein it's downshirting and make, you know, gain popularity and make ad revenue. Because if you're a professional creator, you need to adhere to professional ethics and guidelines for the most part, while still being an interesting artist. Hi, JBX. So Shai said, it's Arya, his videos are fake. He's been exposed a lot on Instagram. Okay, well that's good, but then he should be adding a disclaimer at the start of his video that says, this is a fictionalized prank video. I almost think people would appreciate the videos just as much as if it was indicated to them that they were staged, as if, you know, as when they're real. Okay, guys, I don't know why I just feel like I'm not catching my stride yet in this broadcast. I am going to wrap this particular discussion up. I may go live again later, but I don't feel that I'm catching my stride enough. So thank you for joining me for this discussion. I'm sorry it couldn't be more in depth. I hope that ItzArya goes the way of Sam Pepper. Just end this. Just kidding. Love the show. Well, no, I am ending it because I feel like I'm having a hard time expressing my thoughts right now, and I don't know why. I don't know if I need more air. I don't know if I'm a little tired. But yeah, let's just hope ItzArya goes the way of Sam Pepper pranks. He's not as popular as he used to be. And I already ate something. If you're a creator, just produce content that benefits society more often than not. That's what I would ask of you. You don't need to exploit people for views. And again, if you do pranks, hire people to do the pranks with you and then disclose at the beginning of your video that it's fictionalized. And then I'm okay with it because it's consensual. But non-consensual pranks are not okay. So my name is Davison. See you guys later. Sorry, this has been a little bit of a tired broadcast. I may be back later, but I'm definitely going to be back later with an edited video on my live channel. Bye, guys. Love you all.